evening, you're watching a special broadcast here on Republic TV. In the course of the last 36 hours, two states, especially West Bengal and Odisha, have borne the brunt of Cyclone Amphan. The pictures and the videos that are emerging, the stories from West Bengal sending shockwaves across India, the trail of destruction, devastation in cities like Kolkata included, is disturbing this evening. And in the course of the next 30 minutes, we'll try and go through different aspects of how West Bengal has been affected. This is a special broadcast. You're watching Republic TV. Lives have been lost in the state of West Bengal itself. Odisha is also looking at large-scale damage. The West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee spoke to the media sometime this evening, and she requested even the Prime Minister to come to Bengal to take a look at the scale of devastation, the trail that Cyclone Amphan has left behind. Here's a quick news report that the Republic team has been able to put together, some of the most disturbing visuals that will give you an idea of what the states of West Bengal and Odisha have suffered in the course of the last 24 hours.
Hours after the Amphan cyclone made landfall at Sundarbans, it left behind a trail of destruction. At the Kolkata airport, a number of trees were uprooted by the ferocious winds. In another part of the city, rains lashed the coast and strong gusts of wind blew away everything that came in its way. At Kolkata airport, hit by windstorms and cyclonic rain, an Air India hangar collapsed. Watch how Cyclone Amphan ripped through West Bengal's Midnapur. Even the iconic Howrah Bridge was barely visible through the heavy rain. People swam their way to safety at Gorachand Road in Kolkata. Strong winds topping almost 185 kilometers per hour blew away the school's rooftop. Hundreds lost their homes in Odisha after Amphan made landfall, wreaking havoc and destroying shelters. In Odisha, pounding waves made it impossible for this man to steer his boat. The coast in Balasore wore a deserted look as residents rushed indoors for safety.
Cyclone that passed by last evening, which even passed by Kolkata, left a mass level of destruction. But what about the ground reality, the ground zero situation? Over here in a village in Bashanti in South Chobis Pargana, which was one of the most impacted areas when the storm hit Sundarban areas, we could see the mass level destruction that has happened throughout this entire village.
Over 20 people have lost their lives in the storm that has battered Odisha and West Bengal. With the COVID-19 pandemic raging on, Amphan comes as a double whammy for India.
रात और दिन लगातार काम हो रहा है और अभी जब तक वहाँ ज़रूरत पड़ेगी हम लोग उपस्थित रहेंगे, ये हम लोग इसके लिए कटिबद्ध हैं.
But with early evacuations, relief teams in action, India has all preparations in place to battle the fierce cyclonic storm. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
And to talk about the impact of the cyclone on the states of West Bengal and Odisha, we have two guests with us this evening on the special broadcast. Suryagni, our correspondent, is also live with us this evening from Kolkata. He's been traveling from the different parts of the city that have seen the most extensive damage in the last 24 hours. Before I go across to Surabhi, I quickly want to go across to the DGM of the IMD, Mr. Mrityunjay Mahapatra, who's joining us live on the special broadcast this evening, along with SkyMet Chief Meteorologist Mahesh Palawat. I'd like to go across to the DGM first of IMD, Mr. Mrityunjay Mahapatra. Mr. Mahapatra, I don't think anybody expected this cyclone to leave the scale of devastation and destruction that it has, caused on West Bengal especially, and Odisha as well, but mostly in West Bengal. The pictures that we're seeing, it may not be the full scale of the damage, is what we're also hearing, Mr. Mahapatra, because in many parts of the state there is no internet connectivity. In many parts of the state there is no electricity. So we're just beginning to see the pictures that are emerging from West Bengal. Very, very disturbing this evening. Mr. Mahapatra, your analysis of the kind of damage that's been left behind.
If you look at the Cyclone Amphan, it was well predicted, starting from its genesis. From 13th onwards, we expected that a cyclone is going to develop over Bay of Bengal. And on 16th, we started issuing the numbered warning bulletins to all the concerned agencies, indicating that it is moving towards West Bengal and adjoining Bangladesh coast. And we later on specified that it is moving between Digha and Hatia Island across Sundarbans. So while indicating this landfall of the cyclone, we also told that this is a super cyclone, and while moving across West Bengal and adjoining Bangladesh, it will have large extensive damages, because the strong wind speed which we predicted and which has realized, that is 155 to 165 kilometers per hour, gusting to 185 kilometers per hour, is highly damaging wind. It can cause the uprooting of large avenue trees. It can cause the uprooting and bending of electric poles and telephone poles. And also, it can cause the damage to railway and road transport. And also, this causes the damage to standing crops. In addition to that, when a tropical cyclone crosses the coast, it causes the tidal waves, which is popularly called as the storm surge. And we predicted that there will be 4 to 5 meter height of storm surge over south and north 24 Parganas, above the astronomical tide, and also 3 to 4 meters of storm surge across the Medinipur districts. Third component of this cyclone is the heavy to extremely heavy rainfall. That is also predicted. So if you just look at the approach of a cyclone near a coast, it comes as a multi-hazard in terms of the heavy rain and wind and the storm surge at the same place. So therefore, its early warning with lead period, with accuracy, helps in preparedness, and preventing this type of thing. And I hope all these information being provided by India Meteorological Department almost every 3 hours since 16th May has helped the concerned state and central agencies, and they have utilized it to provide the required arrangement to minimize the loss of life and property.
Well, Mr. Mahapatra, from what you're saying, I hear that you're saying that this was expected and all states were alerted, and we've done humanly what's possible, is what I'm gauging from you. And I'd like to go across to Mr. Mahesh Palawat as well. Mr. Palawat, looking at the extent of damage, you heard the NDRF also go on record. Mamata Banerjee also saying that her state is completely destroyed. Now, those were the words she used, that Bengal is completely destroyed. Because if you look at, it's come at the worst time possible, isn't it? Because the state is fighting COVID-19, and, there are several challenges that Bengal was already facing on that front. And then you had this entire Cyclone Amphan that's put the state on complete recovery mode once again, if I can call it that, because 4 more NDRF teams have rushed to Bengal, and they've also indicated that this is going to be a very, very long procedure to rebuild Bengal, at least going by the extent of damage that we're seeing. Mr. Palawat, your initial assessment of the kind of trail of destruction that we've seen.
Yes, as Mr. Mahapatra has rightly said that IMD has predicted well in advance, and there was enough time for preparation for NDRF and disaster management team, and we were in SkyMed. We also went live on Twitter and Facebook and also on YouTube to answer the question of people. Now the trail of destruction which you have seen, it is expected. It was expected as the wind speed were expected as Mr. Batra has said that in the excess of 150 kilometer. When such high wind speed associated with strong surface, heavy to very heavy rain and thunder shower activities as well as storm surge occurs at the same place or a particular place, then this type of destruction is possible. Although we were expecting this type of wind speed as well as rain and thunder shower activities, but these are the natural calamities. We can prepare as much as we can, but we can say that life can be saved of the people, but the property destruction, the damage to uprooting trees, to electric poles, power lines, mobile towers, TV towers, and the uprooting of the rooftop of kacha houses, the tin shed, asbestos sheet. It cannot be prevented, but the NDRF team has done a commendable job to evacuate the people well in time, and now the relief operations are going on. As we have seen that now the cyclone has degenerated and now weather activities have reduced significantly, and now we do not expect any significant rain or thunder shower activities over Odisha as well as over Gangetic West Bengal, or we can say entire West Bengal will have almost clear weather with particularly sky or light rain. So relief operation can go on smoothly now.
Yeah. There's a reason why Mr. Mahapatra of the IMD is called a cyclone man. And, we've lost 72 lives, and that's nature's fury. We did humanly everything that's possible because we had, the warnings in time, and the IMD had well in advance, informed all states. And I know that, Mr. Mahapatra, and that's why this evening, while we talk about the scale of devastation, we will also have to look at the lessons that we will have to take away from this, because was there more that we could have done? Now, we'll get into that, but we will have to show the scale of devastation, and that's why we're doing this special broadcast. I'd like to go across to Suryagni, our correspondent in Kolkata, but before that, many videos that our viewers across Bengal and Odisha have been sending us. I'd like to play the first video. This is a video that came in from a student at the Jadavpur University. His name is Haq. Mr. Haq sent us this video from Jadavpur University, a small video. We'll play that out and then go across to Suryagni, who's been going to different affected parts of West Bengal. Okay, now these are some still pictures that we have, and there are also videos that we will play in the course of the broadcast. These are still pictures that came in from the Jadavpur University to show you the extent of the damage, the wind speed, and the kind of uprooting, and electric poles also were uprooted due to the effect of the cyclone. There's a second video that we'd like to play. This is from Kolkata Airport. Let me play that video out. We have maybe we have an audio layer as well over that video. We'll try and play that out now. Okay, we'll stay with this. We'll stay with the pictures from the Kolkata Airport. But this has been the most defining video that came in today. One of the most defining videos to show the aftermath of Cyclone Amphan. And let me go across to Suryagni, who was at the Kolkata Airport a few minutes back. He sent us a report from there as well. The good news is, Suryagni, that the airport operations have resumed. But the scale of destruction that we have seen across Bengal is very, very disturbing.
Well, absolutely, and the word should be incomprehensible, because since yesterday we have been tracking the storm, we have been going to ground zeros, we have been going to the villages that have been affected in the most affected places in South Bengal, and the pictures that we see, the visuals that we see, they are extremely devastating. Houses destroyed, trees uprooted, lampposts in the city. In the city of Kolkata, we have seen how the lands, the roads have been blocked by trees, by uprooted trees, by uprooted lampposts, whatnot. And the saddest part is that 72 people have lost their lives in this tragedy, of which 15 of them have been from Kolkata itself. Now, even right now, the place where we are standing in Eastern Metropolitan Bypass, it's a residential area. There are offices as well, there are houses as well, but look at it, there is no single, there is no light. That clearly speaks how the storm was. There are uprooted trees behind me, uprooted trees in front of me, and it's pitch dark.
Yeah.
Electricity has, gone at various places in the city and in the district as well. The network connections have gone for a toss as well. But even in this situation, the state is trying its best to, cope up and move forward, because to be very honest, there is no other option left with the state of West Bengal and the people over here. Back to you.
Yeah. Suryagni, stay with me. I request Mr. Mahapatra and Mr. Palawat to stay with us. I know this is, a very busy time for both you gentlemen as well. But I want you to stay with us, because a lot of viewers, watching this special broadcast, they want to see the reports and the extent of damage in both Bengal and Odisha. We have some more videos that we will take. We have to take a short commercial break now. We'll take this break and come back and continue with this conversation. Mr. Palawat and Mr. Mahapatra, stay with us, please.